bringing things back here at home. We're talking about a non-profit organization that is playing a crucial role in building a sustainable community, and they are one of the pillars that most people from disadvantaged backgrounds rely on. One organization that is assisting communities is Rays of Hope, and their aim is to uplift townships around the country with their different projects. To help us understand the role the NPOs play in this community and give us more information on their upcoming 5th cycle tour of hope next month is Jennifer Adams from Rays of Hope and a beneficiary, Martin Rathogwa. You can join us and be part of our conversation on Facebook and Twitter, or give us a call on 011-537-9337 or 011-537-9338. Good morning, Martin, and good morning to you, Jen, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Pleasure, Penny. Thank you.
Jennifer, let's start with you and talk about Rays of Hope. How long has it been in existence, and what really inspired this initiative?
Thanks, Penny. And exciting that you have a day of hope. It's definitely what we're about. So we've been going a little over 20 years, and we work actually in Alexandra. And it's a community that often struggles to have hope, to be honest. Poverty, there's nothing romantic about poverty, and there are children who've lost families largely as a result of the AIDS epidemic, but for other reasons. And they struggle. They struggle to come to terms with what's happened to them and to have a hopeful outlook.
How do you bring hope to that community?
Well, I think really what it's about is not taking over, not doing life for somebody else. And I think that often people want to feed children and give them things and give them a Christmas present and give them a hug, but it's really not so much about giving them things, although we do that. It's about enabling them to change themselves, so to change from within. And that's a tougher ask, as I say. So it's about giving them some items. Food is obviously significant. If a child's really hungry, it's difficult for them to learn. But really, it's about giving them tools to change from within. So hope is such an awesome word.
Okay, in terms of like the challenges that they face on a daily basis and the programs that you actually have, what kind of programs do you have?
Well, we've got a Saturday school, and Martin will tell us a little bit more about that because he's been part of that for many years. But we also have a child-headed household program. So it's about children who've lost their families and are trying to live on their own. So often teenagers with younger siblings, sometimes with children of their own. Trying to just make ends meet, trying to do life while they're possibly still even attending school. And they just need tools to help them. What they've lost is their mothers. I think that's what people often don't realize.
So there's no mothering, there's no nurturing.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
No mothering, no nurturing, nobody to bring them up. And so Rays of Hope does that very much on the basis of relationships. So we appoint field staff who would have a few families, and they build relationships with those families. So almost become like a surrogate mother to them, but enabling them to grow up, as one does with your own children. You don't do life for your own child. You enable them to do life for them.
Okay, just before I get to you, Martin, to talk to us about the Saturday School program and how you benefited, what are the challenges that you guys face on a daily basis running Rays of Hope, Jennifer?
Well, I think staffing is the biggest thing. So this way of building relationships with kids is an expensive way of changing lives, because you have to build relationships. So you have to have a high ratio of staff people. These are not highly paid staff people. It's small stipends for people. But one of the things we're trying to do at the moment is raise the funds for one more stipend for a female staff worker to go in and build relationships.
Now, Martin, you're part of Rays of Hope. You volunteer there, but you also benefited. So just tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you come to be part of Rays of Hope?
I joined Rays of Hope through a Saturday school, which is called Rosect. So what happened is that when I was in grade 9, I was looking for extra lesson, and then I heard about Rosect, and then I joined them for 2 years as a student, and then I managed to pass my matric, and then after doing my matric, that's when I went back to Rosec to give back, just being part of the staff, helping out, with the admin staff, that Louise, the principal does. And then after that, there was a tertiary education fund which they started. So I was one of the first students, with I think there were 2 of us, and then they helped me go to college. I did a financial accounting diploma for 3 years, and then I've got the diploma now. And then at the moment, I'm busy helping out Rays of Hope. I've been working for Raise of Hope for the past 3 years now.
Okay, so what do you get to do on daily basis? What sort of things do you get involved with, and how did having been part of the program, been taken through school, how are you bringing back those skills in helping the project?
What I do with in the daily basics is that I help out in the office and with most of the project that we're busy with in the office, like just to make sure that everyone is doing everything accordingly. Like we have coordinators for each and every project, but what I do is that I get involved with most of the project in the office.
Okay.
And helping out at the Saturday school, just to make sure that most of the kids in Alex, they can see that there's hope after matric. Not that you're from a township, there's no chance for you.
All right. You can give us a call and be part of our conversation this morning on 011-537-9337 or 011-537-9338. We're talking Rays of Hope, a project in Alexander Township. And of course, we've got Martin here, who not only benefited, but he's also giving back to the very same community. Very interesting, because a lot of times people come, Jennifer, and then they get help, and then the next thing, they never come back.
Absolutely.
Another thing on the daily basis stuff that you do, we spoke about the Saturday school, we spoke about the child-headed homes, but we know that within townships there's a lot of unemployed, the very same young people who might have children or who might come from child-headed homes. I mean, yesterday statistics came out, they're not skilled. Is there a program that talks to that?
There is. We call it Africa Works, and it operates in Marlborough, just on the northern side of Alex. And it's fabulous. We have what we call unemployable peoples, because with the rate of unemployment as it is, people that don't have the skills or have small children that they need to be taken care of at the same time, come and they learn to make something. So one of our biggest products that we have are these very beautiful handbags. They come, they learn to make a handbag, and then we would buy it from them and market those products.
So do you market them to corporate South Africa? Do you take them into retail? Where do these handbags and other things go to?
We started off just selling them to people that we knew, but of course once my friends had bought about 20 of them, they said, enough now, you need to find somebody else to sell them to. And so corporates are definitely the way to go. It's a lovely gift for National Women's Day, that kind of thing, because that way that we can make bigger quantities of them. And then we've done a little bit of export too, which is exciting. Some have gone to New York.
I'm disappointed you didn't bring a bag for me so I can see, maybe I could be able to buy. But let's catch up with Faith and see what some of our viewers have to say on our Facebook page this morning. And of course, don't forget, you can also give us a call. Faith?
Well, thank you very much for that, Penny. Well, we have asked on Facebook the question there saying that, do you think enough has been done to support non-profit organizations in South Africa? And these are the various answers to have come up this morning. Let's start off with Busiso Skwane saying that not at all. Government doesn't understand that NPOs are the ones that make a significant impact on the ground at grassroots level. As a founder of a non-profit organization called Dream for Life Africa, aimed at uplifting disadvantaged communities, and he goes on to articulate further about the organization. Umpongo saying that no, we are new NGOs and we need to submit plenty of forms, including auditing documents when they're just starting out and seeking their first funding. Debohomedzing saying that no, they should be getting more support, but only a few individuals and companies are willing to assist. I'm Zwani saying large businesses who earn a lot of income don't support NPOs because they don't want to lose their profits. That's why the government needs to support them. Robin Kester saying, as a representative of Take the Walk, I can say it would be cool to have more attention for the causes that are ultimately going to benefit social upliftment. Arthur Angry Bird, some take advantage of sponsors and they end up frauding their sponsors. Dimakatso saying this morning, no, I volunteer for an NGO in Alexandra, which was meant to help orphans by providing them with meals 3 times a week and food parcels. However, half of the donations just ended up being taken by staff members, and the rest will be shared among the orphans themselves. If they go now, you'll find no food parcel in one storeroom. Zipio Duba saying that no, the government distances themselves when it comes to NGOs, which makes a lot of them to struggle for funding and deliver what they desire. So perhaps now it will be the question of how is it that we then dispel the image of NGOs, where some of them are being viewed that in fact they do take advantage of the very same communities they are aiming to aid. And perhaps, Penny, then your guests will be able to answer their questions. How then do we start redefining that image of NGOs? I will hand you back to the studio.
All right. Thanks to Faith there. The comments going on our Facebook page. Obviously, there's NGOs and then there's NPOs. So the NPO comes in a different. It's a non-profit making organization. Right. But do you agree with some of the sentiments that some of our viewers have to say?
Yeah, I must say, Penny, we've been lucky. It is sad, some of those comments, and I'd like to think it doesn't happen, but I'm sure it does. I think what we've been lucky with is that we do welcome corporates. Obviously, we need money. Yes. Every NGO, the reputation of the NGO always needing money is because we do always need money. But I think where we've been lucky is that we've got quite a few corporates who not only give us money, but they get involved. And we really like that, a year-round involvement where they send volunteers to come in and help. And I think that from the NGO perspective, the key is in good governance. So our accounting and books are obviously audited and open to anybody who wants to have a look. But for the most part, what they really want to see is feedback. We would give a company that gets involved good newsletters, good feedback as to exactly what's happened. But then really welcome them to come in, have team days that they come in and see the projects, get involved.
So they don't also just throw the money at the problem and take their social responsibility books. Let's talk to Jenny from Johannesburg. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for the call. Your question or comment? Good morning, Jenny. Hello. Okay, all right. Looks like we've lost Jenny. They're on the line. Okay, let's talk more about the upcoming fifth cycle challenge that's taking place, kicking off in Clarence in the Free State, coming all the way to Joburg.
It is. It's about 330 kilometers. I was hoping to persuade you to ride, Penny. Are you in?
Yeah, we can talk about that off air. We can talk about that off air. But let's talk about. I mean, you've got about 39 riders. You started with 7 of them.
We started 5 years ago with 7 cyclists. Just a few of my friends, really, who agreed to help me raise some funds by riding from Clarence in the Free State.
How exactly do they raise funds? Let's say I ride. What exactly, how does it work?
All of the cyclists pay their own entry fee. So they pay an entry fee which covers all of their costs. And then they send a letter to their friends, families, companies, clients, basically anybody that they know, asking for people to sponsor them. And then those people donate anything from 100 Rand up to, we've had one 30,000 Rand donation.
Martin, how do you think other communities, I mean, can learn and benefit from what you guys have experienced in Alex through Rays of Hope? What can you teach other communities, let's say in the Cape, in Mpumalanga? What can you'd say?
I think, what is missing in the disadvantaged communities is like people getting involved, people who are from the community. So what happens is that, we get people coming in like Rays of Hope, you get people coming in to help us. And then, but the people who are staying in the community, they don't want to.
They're not involved.
They're not involved, So if people can also, help themselves, so that the other person who's helping them can also, find it easy to help them. I think,
because obviously, you know the challenges of your community better. Yet at the same time, you get upskilled to be able to do things for yourself outside of like what Rays of Hope could have done, or if they're not there anymore, you're still able to continue, huh?
Yes. Also with me, like they find it easy to help in the township because like I get to tell Jen, this is what's missing in the township. This is how to deal with a young person. So, if we can get more people from the townships, involved, I think it will be easy.
Are you also going to be riding?
Not this year.
Not just here. You've ridden before.
No, I think, in a couple of years.
In a couple of years, if you yes. Okay, let's talk about like how the money, the money that will be raised for the event, how is it going to, you said you're raising money specifically to get a female teacher to come, a staff member to come and help out. Are you having challenges maybe with young women in the program? Or?
We are men as well, actually. Yeah. I mean, both sides. So from the guys' perspective, we have a soccer team actually now that's been quite an effective way of reaching the guys. The girls quite like support groups. They come and, we girls like to talk about our feelings and the girls come. The guys aren't so keen on talking about their feelings. So we use sport and other things to create an opportunity for them to share. And the guys are very prone to, or it's very tempting to get into gangs and get into crime.
Yes.
If they haven't got role models or somebody to talk to, somebody to show them a better way. And the girls, sadly, the problem is that often they end up getting into sexual behavior that's not healthy for them.
For them, yeah.
And sadly, babies. So far too young for them really to be able to cope.
So it just exacerbates the situation that they're in already. Okay, your final words, Martin?
My final words would be like, kids shouldn't look at their parents' background and say, my parents are poor, so like, I can't be anything, I don't have a future. there is so much hope out there. There is people who are willing to, you know, to give out. You just have to stand up and then, you know, also show them that, you know, you want to be something, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it at that. Thanks, Martin and Jennifer. Thanks for joining us this morning.
you, Penny.
And of course, for more information on Rays of Hope, as we're talking to Jennifer there and Martin, you can go give them a call on 011 784 6214 or go to their website, raysofhope.co.za.